Yeah, just I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so in last call, basically we were discussing about basic Spring Boot. Like we have created one project from Spring Initializer, and then we have taken that into the Eclipse, discussed about this was the project is Spring Boot demo. This project we have taken last time the pool in our local system. So we saw like when we take the pool, these all package structure will be auto generated. I mean, so here the like main application file was already present, and then there is a resources folder. If anything related to setting, we have to change. So last time we tried by changing the port, and there are the like test folders are also present for the testing purpose. Along with this, these are the like Java libraries, basically Java code, internal code. So, and these all are the setting files. Now, basically today's agenda is to create a sample application and which will be reading the data from the database. Along with that, it will be deleting, inserting, updating a data to the table. So, so I'll just open this file. Last time I have what what we covered here, like as for to take the project in our local system, we need one of the build tool installed, like maven or gradle in our system. So this was the installation part we discussed last time. Then we discussed about like in our main application class to how the application will know like it is a Spring Boot application with this annotation. And then versioning we discussed about like different version should be compatible to different softwares, then only it will run successfully. After that we also I'm not sure Amit was there in the call, but we discussed about the profile. So did I discuss anything, Amit, in the related to profile with you?
No, no.
Okay, so yeah, so profile section basically when we will start our application here. So here like a second line, if you see, it is saying like no active profile set. So profile currently it is a default profile. Profile meaning is like we have the different basically testing zones we can say. Like first it is tested by developer, then it is tested by the quality engineers, then it is like tested by like in different environments, basically testing environments we have like developer environment, then QA testing environment. Then after like 3 to 4 environments it will be tested, then finally it will go to the production in the sense like a real-time application what we are using. So that is the final stage. So before going to the final stage, it will be tested at multiple places. So to differentiate between like at which level it is being tested, if it is tested as the developer level, then its application profile will be the uh, for developer profile. Then if it is tested as the quality engineer level or quality analysis level, then that will be the QA profile. And finally, the production profile. I've also written one more profile like local profile. So when we are testing in our local system, like Eclipse, I mean on our own desktop, so that time our like application profile will be the local profile. So this is nothing but just like different stages of the testing. So what we do like to just for identification purpose, our profiles, here we are setting our port. So at the same place, there will be one more line to setting the profiles also, like profiles equal to development or profiles equal to prod. So that is just for the identification purpose. For now, we can understand. So that was the profile. And after profile, like we discussed about the ORM. So ORM is a object relational mapping. So basically in Java, we are having the classes, and in database, we are having the tables. So to communicate between the tables and Java classes, we are using the ORM framework. So this I discussed a little bit, and then it is ORM framework is achieved by using the Hibernate. So Hibernate is basically we can say technology which is helping us to connect between the Java code and the database level. So Hibernate is helping us to connect Java class with the table, and then so that was just like about the Hibernate. I'm not going in the detail of them because there is a complete like tutorials or sections, so it will take like multiple days to cover those concepts. So we'll see in the detail while going through the practical. Just giving the brief view here. So now here we are adding the dependency from the Spring initializer while creating the project. Spring initializer, if I go here, like we are doing the add dependency right from here, but what happened like once project is created, then we cannot come back to Spring initializer for adding new dependency because that time the new project will getting created. But our requirement is to add the dependency in existing project. So for that case, to add the dependency in the existing project, we have like URL maven repository. Maven repository URL is there. So when we go there, we have to select here the like it is showing like search group artifact or categories. So that group artifact and we have discussed already in the POM file, like here when we are adding our dependencies. Yeah, so when we have added like couple of dependencies here. So in this each of the dependency, we are having the one is the group ID and other is the artifact ID. So with this group ID, we can perform the search. I search this. So with the Spring Boot already this is coming. So now with the group in this group, these all are the different dependencies are present. This is the main group like Spring Boot, org Spring Framework Boot. So under this we have the test, we have the web, auto configure, Spring Boot starter, and then process. So these all are the dependencies, like a lot of dependencies are there, basically different pages are there because this is the main group. Spring Boot has the all the dependency. Now, to be more specific, we have to search with the artifact ID, this one. Artifact ID Spring Boot Starter Web. So if I search this one, group is for like multiple dependency which are integrated with this group, and this artifact is the identification, and we can say like name of that dependency. So here, when I will search this, so this time the single dependency should come in the result. So in this, there are okay, so multiples are coming, but we have to mainly discuss about like Spring Boot starter web. So with Spring Boot starter, only one should be there. So if you see, it is being used by the 10,000 plus usage it has. So it is integrated with 10,000 application internally. So just if I click on this, like first one. So we can see like for Maven we are doing. So it has the different version. Currently we are using the 3.0 version. So after 3.0 also in 3.0 now the 3.1 is currently latest version. So if you click on this and we have to click on the Maven because we are using the Maven dependency. So you can see like these lines basically this one dependency section and what we are having in our POM file, this dependency, both are like matching. I mean, here the group ID, artifact ID is there, and here the one more section, version section is there. So version section is to identify, like suppose someone want to use the older version. So for older version, it will we have to specify. If you want to use the latest version, so then automatically if it will pick, like if I'm not using here the version, it means automatically it will pick the latest version. So if you want to use the latest version, then version tag is not compulsory. this version tag is not compulsory, but if you want to use the older version, then you have to specify exact version. So this was like the place from where we can find our dependencies, basically. Once our application is created and in that you want to add your dependency, in that case you have to come here to the Maven repository, search your, like suppose I have to search for the Oracle dependency, search your dependency by name also you can search basically. So now ODBC JDBC is there, so to connect with the Oracle we need this dependency also. So I will click on this, and after clicking on, I have to go to the latest version or specific version, and then in that you have to select the Maven. So from here we can copy and basically paste to our code. So this is the from where we can take the dependencies basically, like after the application is created. You got this, Amit, right? Basically for you only I explained. So yeah, so this dependency section we can take from there, and then next thing is, so here in starting I told like there are different build tools, like one was Maven, other was Gradle. So same dependency like Oracle dependency, only it is the come to the different format. So it depends on like which build tool we are using. So currently we are using the Maven, so this line will paste. If we are using the Gradle build tool on our system, then we'll copy paste the this line. So basically this is also the same thing, only here it is like writing in multiple lines, like group ID, artifact ID, and version. This is writing in different line. But if you are using the Gradle, so everything like this will be the let me click inside. This is the group ID, and this is the artifact ID, and this is the version. So this is the single line. So similarly, this was the Gradle and Maven. These two were the main. Others generally we do not use, but they are also like similar way in single line. These all are the Gradle. So Gradle are in single line. So this is the format of like copy pasting the basically dependency. Nothing, we have to not worry about much, but we have to come here, copy the code, that dependency, and paste in our project, use it. So that is related to dependency part. Now coming down. So these all are the dependency which we had used. Now basically we have to see the what will be the flow of our application, like when we are creating a web-based application, or we can say like we are creating a Java application which will be reading the data to the database, taking the output from there, and then presenting on the screen. So for doing that part, there we have to follow some architecture, and that is known as the like MVC architecture. So MVC architecture is basically uh, hmm, so here somewhere I have explained about MVC also. Yeah, so let me like write here only. MVC architecture basically we have to follow. So MVC architecture is like its full form is model, view, and controller. So in this architecture, I mean, what happens basically like we created this Spring Boot application. So in this application, when we start our application, first it will come to the main class. Any Java application come to the like main class, and from there it will run the main method. So it will run the main method. First it will like call the Spring application dot run method, and then after application is started, then it will go for the further lines. So just last time we see like if we run this line only, so this will be the Java application. If we also include this line, this application dot run, then it will be the Spring Boot application. So once like application has been like up successfully, then we have to start creating the different packages. So to be more specific, I will show one of the existing project first to understand like what I'm talking about, like how we have to create the architecture. So for the understanding purpose, I have one application here. You can see finance. This is the project, finance project. So in this, you can see like I have the different packages created inside it, and the application which we have created right now, which is created from the Spring Initializer. You can compare the basically package. So we have to mainly talk about the source main Java package. Source main Java here, it is having the one package only automatically created, and here I have created the multiple packages. So here also in first package we are having the main application, like main method to run the application. So the first package is already created and rest of packages I have created. So here if you see the name only, like up to the finance, com.st.finance is common in all the packages. At last I have added something like controller, DAO, entity, exception, service. So on the different architecture level functionality, these names I have given like controller, DAO, entity, exception, service. Now to talk about like what is the controller, DAO, entity, exception, and service, I'll just go to this flow diagram here. So yeah, so if the any person is like searching anything on the browser, if we search anything here, like one URL will be getting generated. Basically, this URL will be getting generated. Google.com/search something. This I will take only the example of this much. Suppose I copy this, and then so this if we search on the browser, this if I having this URL, if you see, so this is the first thing. If we search anything and if it is running on the Java based application also, so one URL will be getting created. So first part is like user go to the browser and it search for some URL. So this URL somewhere in our code we have to write these URLs, then only it will identify. So here basically what happens, the URL part, when it comes from the browser, we search anything on the browser, either we'll search on the browser or there are different testing tools basically which people install on their local system, and from there they paste the URL. So they will paste the URL, and then that in actual code, code level basically where that URL will write into the controller package. So I've created here the controller package, this one, and in this I will write the URL. So suppose here my URL is hello URL, then get user URL. So this was just the for the understanding. Rest of the code I will explain, but URL part I'm saying like URL we are writing in the controller. So like flow will be like user will hit the browser. First step will be to hitting the browser, and then browser will direct our code using the Spring Boot application to the controller. In controller, we are defining our endpoints. Endpoints in the sense like URL. We are defining the URL in the controller, and then controller we, will be basically calling to the service layer. Service will be calling to the DAO. DAO will be calling to the entity. So this is just like flow of the packages. These different packages I have created. So this is the flow for like first our application will start from the main class. Main class from here. It will start from the here like main class, like simple to the Java application, similar to Java application. Then it will check for the Spring Boot annotations. This at the rate Spring Boot application means it is a Spring Boot project. So it will start from here. Then next step will be it will go to the controller, and from controller, in the controller I will be having the link for the service class, service package. So it will go inside the service, and then from service, suppose for this is the my endpoint in controller, that URL basically. Now code will go to the service. In the service, I am having the DAO. Just you have to see the word. So from service to DAO, I will go, and then further DAO to the entity. So just explaining before that, what are all these basically DAO service? Why we are taking like that? To explain that, I will again come back to my file here. So not in this one. That yeah, where I have Spring Boot application. Hmm. So this I was explaining about the MVC architecture. So I told like this package was this is the first package, and on the basis of that I'm adding the controller, DAO, entity, and service. So this is just for the naming purpose I have used. And then uh, yeah, so here controller part I was explaining, like currently we are in the controller package. It will hit to the URL, which will help us to connect to the browser. And then once we are getting the URL, suppose we are searching something. So if we are searching something, it means I am searching the, suppose I am searching the name of the favorite celebrity. So what it will do, it will search to the browser like name of the favorite celebrity, that search this Google dot search is there, no? This URL at last, this search is there. So it will go to the controller. In controller it will ask like I need the name of the celebrity. So something like here should be the name of celebrity, li- like so what should be the next functionality, like it will its functionality should be to go to the database, search the like celebrity table, and then perform on the celebrity table. Like we need the name of the celebrity. So in the celebrity table on the there are multiple, there might be the multiple celebrities. So we now on the basis of the department, like which related to cricket celebrity or different I mean celebrity you want. So on the basis of that it will filter the data from the database, and then it will bring the output. So basically the main thing is if you search anything, output should come. So for example I will show you. So here yeah, so last time, like I here that name is different, but the pattern is the same. So to be sync up, one second. So these all are the controller DAO I have explained. So maybe with one working functionality, I will tell like more about on the controller level. So where is my database? Yeah, okay, database is closed. So I'll go to the end. See, this is the, if you see this URL, just I'm like URL part only I'm explaining for the search purpose basically. So search purpose, I have to explain the URL. Uh, hmm, okay. Let me go to the first login to the database. From there, you will be able to relate it. SQL plus, yeah. Invalid username. I don't know. Some issue is coming with. Okay, so let's leave about that. Uh, See this URL you can see, right? If you see this URL, this is the local host URL on which our application is start, and then this is the all user. So basically this functionality I have implemented, like there is a user table in the database, and I have to get all the details from the user table. Now if I hit this endpoint, so here in output, this is the output section. If you see, like in the my table, there are three rows. User table is there, and it has a three rows. This is the data from first row, this is data from second row, and this is data from third row. So what I am doing, like I'm getting the data from that table. which has the some user ID column, then first name, last name, and age. ID, first name and last name and age. So to get this data, either we can run our select query, like select star from the user. So that is the one way to get the data. But now this one output we are getting, uh, because we are hitting the URL, some URL. So URL we have to present on the screen basically. So for that, we are hitting the this, and Java code will be bring the data, data from the database, and then it will present on the screen. So for that part, basically functionality, we have to see the code. One more time I will try the data. Yeah, here it is already logged in. Okay, so see, I have the select star from users. There is a users table. I'm hitting this. So in the user table, this is Oracle. Correct format it is not showing, but you can see like first is this name, like the first, this one is the ID, this is the name, this is the last first name, this is the last name. Similar, this is the first record basically. If I come to the second record, this is the ID, this is the name, first name, this is the last name, and this is the third record, like ID, its name, first name and last name. So basically this is the data coming from the Oracle SQL Plus database, and table name is the user table. So this data we got from the database. Same data if you want to get from the like Java application, then we have to write the code for that. So code is implemented. Just I show like how we'll get the same data into the on the basis of like hitting the URLs. So now, what is happening? Basically, this output is coming. So this is like a get all data. So now that we have the like two option, either we can run the like select data, select star from users. That is the one option, or hit the URL from Java code. So to get the data of the user table, these are the two options. Similarly, also from if I have to delete the data, then delete users, where some user ID will be there basically. User ID equal to suppose 18 I'm take. So this will be the query to delete the data from the database. And other option is we can delete the data from the Java code. Delete data from Java code. So same way, like add data. For add, we write the insert query. So insert into table name, insert into table name. So here the users, then it's a key value pair basically, like what should be the column name and its value. So this will be the insert query. And then we can add the data from Java code also. So basically, this is the simple functionality. We want to add data, delete data, get data from the database using the Java code. So to implement this functionality, we are using the URLs. So if I am using here last word, if you see this URL is the get all user. So whatever the data present in the table, it will get all the data. Then if you want to get the data on the basis of one ID, like get data on the get user by ID. So if I like I'm putting the user in table, if I go to the table, this one, there is one ID. Amit, suppose Amit is there, there is a ID. ID is 18. So if I put the ID here 18, so I have taken the 18 here. If I hit, then data related to the what problem is coming? Get call, right? Get user ID 18. 7009. User details not found for ID. Okay. So from here, all get all get all user we can get the ID. So for last one, it is ID is 952 actually. So I need to user ID as 952. So if I do the 952, So only the like there were the three rows in the table, but it is just getting the data for the Amit user. So for third user, it is getting. So if you want the data for the one user, then you have to search by ID. And if you want to get the data for the all the users, then you have to not use any ID, directly like get all users. So getting the data from the database also, there are the two
Arun,
ways. Yeah.
Arun, if I am we are using the as, right?
Hmm.
If I am just using the as, you are saying the get all users.
Yes.
Okay. Here two IDs, suppose 30 ID and 952 ID.
Hmm.
Two ID age is 18. Okay. So we are just writing right there. Age is 18. Okay. So one is showing, two are so two user ID showing.
Yeah. One. Can you come again? Like I missed.
Uh, I'm saying,
Mhm,
you are saying user ID. Suppose I am you identifier.
mhm,
User ID is 952. It's showing one user ID. That name is first name Amit and last name is Singh.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I am put there, search in get location. I'm searching
Mhm.
age is 18, right?
Yeah.
Both test user and Amit age is 18. Okay,
Mhm.
so I am just right there. Age is 18
Yeah.
in
So.
search bar.
Mhm. So for that way, like we can implement. Currently, it is implemented for the sample purpose on the basis of user ID I've implemented. Okay. Now, if you see this one, I'm going to buy user ID. Okay. So here I'm using the user ID. So now currently this code is configured with the this user ID part. If you want on the basis of the like age, with age 18, how many users are there? I need all of them, right? So for the user on the
Yes.
basis of age code, we can also write our functionality, but like we need the basically to get the data from the table, we need a primary key, right? Primary key means it should be the unique values, like all rows should be unique. So for that purpose only I've taken the user ID. But if you take the age basis, so on the with age 18 there might be the multiple users. So for multiple users also, all the users with age 18 it will print that code. Will see basically when I will explain the code level, so there we will see. But here the main purpose to show was like there are two operation like we can perform. Either on the basis of IDs we can get the data, or we can get all the data together. So sometimes what happens, like if we have to give the list of the users, so there we use the all users. And if I have to give the specific user, then there we have to get the ID first, and then we have to with respect to that ID we'll get the data. So age level also we can filter. We can filter on the basis of the first name also, last name also. Basically, whatever we can achieve from the database side, like select or delete or insert or update. All four operations we can also do by Java side also. Exactly same thing we can achieve from the Java side also. Like for this get, update, insert, and delete for these four operation. So yeah. So this was the just my point was like two way we can get by user and by get all. Now if I do the delete, so delete also there is a two operation to delete. Either delete all the user whatever the present in database, or delete user by ID. So here suppose I get the ID, like this get all users, and I want to delete this Amit data. Okay, so I have to take this user ID and then go to the delete by user ID. I'll pass this user ID of Amit, and then I will hit delete. So here it is showing record deleted successfully. Now if I again go to the get all user, earlier there were the three users, but now I have deleted this, so this record should be removed. Now let me hit it. So now you can see like in output only two records are coming, because now in the table two rows are there and third one is deleted. So we can delete by user ID. This is the delete by user ID. If I will hit the delete all users if I do, so